morning on this beautiful Sunday morning, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to actually talk about the Mildred Payne's Oracle of Black Enchantment. Now, for anyone in Ireland or the UK, I had some problems getting Deviant Moon decks here because of the changes to the postal system. So just to give you a heads up, if you are struggling to get this or any other Deviant Moon deck directly from Patrick, I really recommend you go to their Etsy shop and order via Etsy, because whatever postal system that they're using there actually does get to you. Because we had an issue with my parcels going back and forth across the Atlantic Ocean, like past the parcel, and that's not down to Deviant Moon, it wasn't down to me, it was down to the new postal regulations and what they're allowing, not allowing into the country, etc. And it's not that they're not allowing the decks into the country, but there has to be all these codes and various other things on an envelope, and if it's not there, they just send it back to sender, regardless as to where it's come from, regardless as to the cost, and regardless to the fact that it's costing the sender more money again to keep reposting. So if you are ordering Deviant Moon and you're in Ireland particularly, and I think anywhere in the EU or even the UK, I do recommend you go through their Etsy store if you're experiencing problems with postage. So that said and done, let's get on with this. Now, I had ordered the Mildred Payne Oracle of Black Enchantment and the Paradoxical Deviant Moon, but I was very, very lucky when a YouTube friend of mine, who I hope one day to meet in person, go for a coffee, actually no, go for a glass of wine, because I think we both like our glass of wine, and who makes these amazing pouches, Anne Fort. So Anne Fort had already received this deck and gifted me her copy. So this is the Paradoxical edition, by the way, that's upstairs. Big story. Quick digressing. I've decided to really tidy up my whole tarot and crafting area. So the bureau I have down here is taking my overload, my excess tarot books in the two glass cabinets either side, and the decks that I use to read for people who come here for a reading. All my other decks and all my other tarot books are upstairs in the room that I was doing all my well, not lives, all my video recordings in, and I'm having a huge change, and I'm in the throes of sorting out. It looks like a bomb has gone off in it, and a bomb in a tarot shop has gone off, and it's just like tarot decks to beat the band. So I'm actually sorting that out, and I will give you a tour around there. And my my Paradoxical edition is up in that room, waiting for me to read it for myself up there. Actually, I will be bringing it down for Halloween, because I'll be using that for my tarot and a tent night. Anyway, let's get on. Now, I had seen the Black Enchantment, and I know this has been out for some time, but it's something that hadn't grasped me too much. However, I had, as many of you will know, I'd had this deck, this Deviant Moon deck, for some time before I could actually gel with it, before I could actually read with it. And what propelled me to reading with it, and I keep it in this lovely pouch, crocheted by my sister, and buttons beautifully sewn on by my mum out of her button box, and I love them because they're beautiful little floral hearts. Let me hold that up for you to see. Aren't they gorgeous? Yep. So what drew me to working with this, I took an instant liking to Mildred Payne's Secret Pocket Oracle. And I have this one, and I have the Seance edition, a bigger version. And I just thought there was just something about this that I thought, I really like it. And I thought, I'm going to see if I can read this with the Deviant Moon, and everything just flowed. It was almost like a mini miracle. And so that drew me into ordering this. Now, I have had this for some weeks, and I am only now getting to sit down and actually go through it, you know, in a deeper way than I had. I have flicked through it, I have glanced through it, I have picked out the odd card here and there and read for myself with it, and I've taken up what I feel the card means. I have found a PDF that gives an explanation to these cards, and I will go through some of that with you now. When it arrived, we got lovely cards again. Patrick's really good for putting in little extras, and these will go into a book that I have with extras in from creators. We have this here, which is Mildred and Claire in Fenwood Asylum 1929, and I love this whole theme of Mildred Payne and Fenwood Asylum. I think it is extremely clever and fun, and you know, I'm going to hold my hand up here and say I actually thought it was totally real. And here we have some images that are quite eerie. Here in the Mildred Payne Oracle of Black Enchantment, you have all the details on there. This is the size of the cards, and they're quite big. If I was to hold the tarot deck up now, just against it, so you can see, you know, it's bigger than the tarot box. Okay, so it is a nice big deck. Reach deep into my blood red petals and retrieve my most powerful creation, the Oracle of Black Enchantment. M with Mildred and a blood stain. We've got a little fly visiting us. Go on, off we go. And we have some old images. This is the Fenwood Coven of 1933. And here we have Mildred in 1933. And on the back of that we have, and I think that's quite clever. Amazingly so, and another photograph of Mildred, and on the back of this it gives us names. Let's see, Doolittle Emily Lusk 1887, gentleman, I can't read what that says, Noack of 1863, Mildred Payne. It's a list of names and dates, and then it says beast love rots the heart, dead behind the shed, Annie Green 1859, mother is all bones is mother, mother is all bones is mother, July the 2nd 1884, save the skull, bury the ribs. Wow. Nobody found any bodies lately anywhere? Right, now these are the backs of the cards. Okay, I love the eye. Love that. Let's have a look. Right, now these are not in order. I'm going to put this one. What's that? 23. That's, oh, are they in order? Oh, no, they're not in order. I think I might have just no, they're not in order. Anyway, so what do we have here? This is card number 1, and this is the Cavalcade. Okay, but look at the art. Now, for me, this is like marching to the beat of your own drum. Okay, it's following the band, following the group, one of a group. But is it? I had to look at the PDF. Now let's look at that. That is quite, if you look here, we've got a skeleton leading the way, following the, I don't know, little demon or devil of sorts, and some sort of dark empress, and oh my God, someone passing fire. We have somebody up here driving them. So is this a case of, you know, enjoy your time now because there's something bad coming along the way, and it's being pushed and driven by somebody else, and you're being pushed and driven by somebody else. But this creature to me is encouraging these to dance and jolly, and, you know, with the darkness that comes with its party, like a party animal. But he's a bit of a turncoat because he's riding on the back of a beast that's coming to devour these. These are unaware here of the beast that's about to eat them all. Troubling times behind you, partying too hard, and you're going to be paying the consequences. Let's have a look and see what the PDF says. So, the Cavalcade. Beware, the end of peaceful days has arrived. The cavalcade of mischief exists, the gates of hell intent on spreading chaos around the world. So the dark meaning is a seemingly never-ending procession of problems may be coming your way. Prepare for a season of multiple troubles, one damn thing after another. A can of worms opened. Okay, I can see that. Yep. A light meaning is a series of unique challenges will lead to a personal growth once overcome, which totally makes sense. So you've got all these things going on. You're sort of marching to the sound of your own drum there. These are the challenges that might come your way, but you're going to be really celebrating and beating your own drum because you're overcoming them. Yeah, I can see that. You know, you can take so much out of this. Okay, it's great we have the PDF there, the meaning, but you can also take extra. What else is it saying to you? You know, watch where you're going. You know, make sure you're going down the right path, because any choices, keep your beady eye open on what's ahead. Also, look behind you. Somebody there's not playing the game, deceiving you. And that could be part of the troubles that are coming ahead, as stated there in the PDF. I actually love it. And you know, it's I think it's the art and it's the cleverness behind it. The way it's done really gets your mind working. Now, I have to be honest, when I did first get this deck, I was a little, I wouldn't so much say freaked out, but unnerved by the images. And the one that did it for me was the death card, because for some reason I just couldn't get my head around that image of that mother sort of beast-like creature, pregnant, and her foot on the head of her child. And I'm thinking, the death card, okay, but this one to me portrayed a sort of infanticide. You know, that the mother was killing the child in preparation to birth another one. But no, it was the child trying to get back into the mother. This new world, this change, and new life coming in. It was the death of his old life of growth within his mother, being born into a new life, and more new life coming along to join him or her. It was at first I just couldn't get my head around that, but it was once I sort of fell in love with this little gem that everything just seemed to fall into place, and fall into place really nicely. They are very quirky decks. They are quirky with their own weird beauty, and I just love them. So let's have a look at another card. I hope you've managed to grab a coffee and join me here in a nice cuppa. So that was the Cavalcade. Number 2. Oh, we've got an angry mob here. But everybody is sort of standing up against something, whether it be up against tyranny, whether it be protesting for something, whether it's... They're all banding together and they're being driven, being fed by somebody who's portraying to be supporting of them. But look, he's actually pickpocketing your man here. He's actually not a friend. He is the spoon that's stirring the pot. You'll probably end up in all these, getting into some sort of trouble for it. And he, in the meantime, is deceiving his friends. He's stealing from them. He's stirring the pot, and he'll be the one at the back of the crowd to just melt away into the distance. Nothing to do with me, type of thing. Let's see what the PDF says. The angry mob. A ragtag crowd of outraged citizens marching defiance against evil. Ah, unbeknownst to them, darkness has already infiltrated the group. So the meaning: forces rising up against your ambitions, strong resistance, mutiny, rebellion, a fly in the ointment. Light meaning unity, coming together for a common cause, coalescence. And I think if in this one, for the lighter side, I would have also added here that yes, there's the unity, coming together, all singing from the same hymn sheet and exposing the traitor in the camp, seeing that there is somebody there that has not got the higher good of everybody else in their actions, thoughts and words, and that they will be exposed for being the double crosser that they are. So let's have a look now. We have now this one. This deck arrived when I had decided I'm going to try my hands at gardening. As a sort of history with me and plants, I'm literally the kiss of death to them. However, my herb garden has taken off like a dream, and I'm making lots of lovely things with the things I'm growing. Now that winter's coming, so I've bought myself a tiny little shelf set of like a little mini greenhouse, and I'm going to try and continue growing some of my herbs throughout the winter, because they're the sort of things that keep us healthy, keep us great. And this deck arrived when I was getting a liking for the outdoorsy sort of growing aspect of outdoors. I love being outdoors, I love being in nature, but like I say, I certainly don't have the Midas touch when it comes to plants. But I'm learning. I'm actually about to grow my own peppers. Well, try. That being said, let's get on with this card. Now, excuse me, who knows? This, to me, is someone that's not happy with the results of her work. She might have tried to do something, and it hasn't been as successful as this person wants it to be, and therefore deadheading the whole lot and starting again. Let's try make way for a clean sheet. Let's just you know, try again. This is not what I wanted to occur. This is not what I wanted to grow, produce, make. This is not the thing or the being I want to be. Chopping away, getting rid of what no longer serves her, and starting anew. That could be whether it's a hobby, a career, whether it's a lifestyle, even a personality sort of change. Maybe this person doesn't like what she's seeing in herself or others, and so is changing that. Maybe there's a group of people that she associates or with, and thinks, you know, this is no longer for me. Let's just get rid of it and start again. Let's see what the PDF says. The gardener. Just bear with me while I scroll down so I can see this. A housemaid, tired of the troublesome weeds growing wild in her garden, proceeds to behead the plants with a quick snip from her pruning shears. Dark meaning, death of one's ideas, someone cutting you down to size, a critical or destructive person. Light meaning, getting rid of problems once and for all, taking personal responsibility, eliminating negativity. Yep, that's nice. I got a good feel for that one. Great. So you can see by the art and by, you know, what you can get from it. There's, like I say, there's just so much to be read with these cards. How would I use them? Well, when I do a spread or do a reading, what I'm going to do is just page through these now, okay, so that you can just see the different art, so that I'm not going to keep you here all day. But whilst I'm doing that, I'll explain how I would use these. What I would do, or what I do, particularly with my little pocket oracle, and I do have a walkthrough of this on my channel from a couple of months ago. When I do my spread, I depending on what spread I use, what my reading is for, have I got a question to start off with, is it a general reading? I love it when I have a question to start off with, you know, particularly when I'm reading for myself through different situations, and I think, right, how am I going to broach this, for instance? So if, for instance, I say, right, okay, what can we use for an example? Am I going to be a successful artist? Okay, and I pull my cards, and then there are cards, and there's one that comes out that doesn't quite fit in. Well, how is, say, Let me see, what could I use? Something that would be... I'm trying to think of an example of a card, but every card I'm thinking of, well, that could mean that, that could mean that. But say there's a card that would question, why has that appeared? Sometimes I'll draw a clarifying card, sometimes I'll draw an oracle card. So if I was to say here, am I going to be a successful artist? Well, there's the potential there if you stop letting your own negativity keep you bound into one thought process or one style of art. Or if you are being led or manipulated by somebody else. Be yourself. Cut away the ties that bind and say, I can do this, I have got this, and I will achieve. But as long as you stay in the mindset, well, can I do this? Or doubts, not that, so, I can do this. Or can I do this? Or, the negativity keeps you bound. Somebody else that has not got the confidence that you potentially have is also transferring their negativity onto you, and you're being sort of led down this, well, who do you think you are? Of course you can't do it. Oh, don't be so silly. You're not really an artist. Whilst you think like that, whilst you allow external forces and negativity to keep you tied, no, you won't. But shed that. Start seeing yourself in your true light. Accept, embrace, and use your talents, skills, and abilities, and whatever path they take you down, make it yours. And yes, you will. But first you need to cut those ties that bind. There you go. That's using an oracle card to answer a question. And then we'll be celebrating. So as you can see, that is how I would use this sort of deck. I do enjoy this, taking a fall. You know, what comes before pride? Fall comes before pride, comes before a fall. That's it. Hey, look at that. Hello, I'm watching you. You've been caught out. Now this one is quite different. Let's have a look. Now, are you believing somebody's crud? Are they vomiting? Have they got verbal diarrhea and you're actually eating everything and swallowing everything they tell you? What's going on here? Pulling by the tail, face, two-faced looking behind, keep an eye on his back. Is he, oh, which way he's walking? Is that a tail? Let's have a look. This is number 9. Oops. And I've just gone and closed down the PDF. Let's see if we can get it back up again. Let's see what number 9 tells us. Come on, open up. 1, 2, 3. Number 9 is on this page. The sick witch. A witch filled with sickness and decay vomits into a golden chalice. 2 deplorable creatures stand beside her. One offers assistance while the other scratches himself in confusion. Dark meaning, disease, sickness, the poor results of physical neglect or bad habits. Light meaning, ridding yourself of toxins, cleansing the body, soul and mind. A purge. A purge. I'd like to know why she's grabbing by this sort of appendage. Quirky. And let's carry on looking at some of these. And there are many that will raise questions and will actually, you know, the art style actually does get you to look quite deep in, to analyse it and pull out what you believe. Now, no book comes with this, okay? It was through pure chance, and you know, I'd imagine that there is information if you went onto the Deviant Moon site, but I just googled PDF for the Black Enchantment, okay, Oracle of Black Enchantment, and found and came across the PDF for this that gives you an insight into what is going on in the cards if you are struggling with any of them, like that one that we were just looking at. I do prefer to look at these and take out what I believe to be the meaning I'm getting sort of from the images, my intuition, and just the study of the images and the art. And I just find that you can pick out your own little bits, but it is always nice when you do find, sort of like the PDF that I have here, when you do come across a PDF and compare and contrast. What did my meaning come up as in comparison, and what can the creator's interpretation of his own art add to my meaning? Do they work together? Do they pull apart? Can they mix well? I think it's just great to be able to do that. Love that. Just love that. Very earthy. Oh wow! This is, you know, are you getting yourself into a mess that's going to get you into an awful lot of trouble? Are you hanging around with the wrong crowd? Let's have a look. This is the execution. A notorious gang of evil-doers swing by the neck at the gallows. A sentry plunges his sword into the abdomen of one of the convicts to ensure punishment has been served. The dark meaning, dire consequences. Well, there you go. Hanging around with the wrong crowd, getting yourself into trouble. Guilt by association. Time to pay a high price for crimes committed, a harsh penalty. The light side is justice has been served. So if you are querying something about another, it's sort of justice is served. The satisfaction of seeing those who have harmed you get what they deserve at last. Yes, I have to be honest, this is a subject that can be quite sort of, oh wow, do we take pride? Do we take happiness? Do we take joy in justice being dealt out with? When crimes have been committed against us, of course we will. You do get people who have some amazing ability to be able to say, well, I forgive you, and don't necessarily want to see justice meted out as such. I admire people like that, particularly when members of their family might have been harmed, sometimes killed. And I've seen it on programmes, and particularly if you watch these court programmes where you read in the news that a parent stood up and said, I forgive you. I know I don't have that ability. I don't even know if I'd want that ability. Because like that, someone harms you or your own, you want to see some form of justice being served, you know, and karma coming around. But then, do you? Are there things you've done in life where karma can come and bite you on the butt? You know, it's a tricky one, you know, to a degree. It's not tricky if a proper crime's been committed and someone's been hurt or harmed or their property stolen, and you think, you know, I want to see justice done. And then, yes, it's great to see, but that's a very fierce justice card. Look at this. I do apologise about my dogs barking. They've probably seen a cat running across the top of the wall. It sends them into disarray. Look at that. Wow. Number 49. Let's have a look what 49 says. Now that one, before we see 49, what do we see here? Someone's blindfolded. Just bear with me, I'm just going to get them to stop barking for a minute. I just went out and shouted to the dog, Sammy, Sammy, stop barking. And it's one of my neighbour's dogs, not mine. Oh well. Here we go. Oh well. Now, let's have a look what we have here. We have a blindfolded woman walking with her cat and a wise owl. Okay, so whenever I see owls, I always think of wiseness and the wise old owl. But it's almost like she's being led by her spirit animals. Now she's going into a darkness with lots of eyes on her. And it almost looks like she's entering a mouth. But it's not touching her. It's like it's drawing back from her, that nothing's going to harm her because she's being protected by her spirit animals, her spirit guides. Is that trust your instincts? You don't need to see everything. Go, just, you don't need to see an end result. Just enjoy the ride, be adventurous, go out there, take those tentative steps. You just don't know what goodness it can bring you. Look, as she's going, the path's clearing, you know, and it's light, and it's like she's chasing away the spooks in the dark, you know, the spookiness. So let's have a look, see what it says here. So let's have a look and see what the PDF says. Right, what does it, 49, 49, 49, 49, here we are. The ordeal. The blindfolded witch fiercely pushes forward into the darkness. With each step she takes, she dispels all fear while creating a life of joy and meaning. Oh wow, I honestly had not read that before I pulled out what I felt from it. Feeling consumed by the darkness, so the dark meaning is feeling consumed by the darkness, cowardice, being faithless, needing the approval of others before advancing. And the light meaning is someone who's willing to go through the darkness to reveal the light. Bravery, having blind faith in your abilities, knowing that you will solve the problems as they arise. Beautiful. We have the face of the moon here. Gosh. Look at that. That reminds me of a film I saw once that was going to remain nameless that actually I had to turn off because I found it so gross. There we go. Look at them. So you can see how you can really pull out things from this deck. And do I like it? I do. I love it. I'm actually truly, really loving the whole Deviant Moons Mildred Payne series. I haven't actually got any of the Marseille decks. I know there's a Marseille deck out, but I'm just so happy with what I've got, and so happy that I'm actually able to read with it. When I had that sort of penny dropping moment, and the reading just flowed. I read with the Deviant Move myself first, and I did it a couple of times. And I thought these readings are unbelievably accurate, and I could associate everything, every single card to different things in my life. So then I started using it to read for others too. Now I only read it for certain people with that deck because it is a deck whose art can sort of create an air of eeriness or uncomfortable feelings for some people, of a more gentler sort of makeup. But and so I have different decks for people I think that, you know, this wouldn't suit. And as you know, it's not, you know, it's not one size fits everybody, so to speak. You know, different things, different cards for different people. And that's the joy of having as many decks as I have, because I can say, I do actually, because the way I've got my deck set up, I can go, right, which one am I drawn to for this person? Boom, take that one. But I do that before, when the person's booked in for a reading, I sort of meditate on, think, right, who's coming? I might have met them before, I might not have met them before, I might have read for them 6 or 12 months previously, but I'm right, okay. And I always love reading for people that I don't know, that I've never met before and I know nothing about. Because when the cards reveal different things, it's like, wow. And you still get that moment of, how did you do that? All these years later. But yes, I'm enjoying my decks. I'm enjoying this Deviant Moon series and Mildred Payne. Mildred Payne's become a right little pal of mine. So people, I hope you've enjoyed this. This deck has been sitting here waiting for me to do something with it, and I've now managed to get the opportunity. I have my Reiki bed set up. I'm doing a little bit of Reiki this afternoon, and I've been doing quite a bit of Reiki on people lately, and it's actually working well. So I shall love you and leave you. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a lovely weekend. Bank holiday here in Ireland. Sore heads tomorrow, more than likely. Take care, folks. Bye now.